Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
Last night, the Angels dug a big hole early, and it looked like it would be a lapper for the Yankees. However, it proved to be a wild night as the Halos came all the way back to bring the Yankees to their knees in an incredible 7-5 win. Tonight, the Angels look to stay hot as Kansas City comes to town. Royals and Angels next.
Taking 2 or 3 from the New York Yankees is a fantastic way to kick off a homestand, and the Angels rolling right now, back-to-back series wins against 2 very good teams in the Astros and the Pinstripers. Don't sleep on the Kansas City Royals because they're playing a little bit better of late. It's game 1 of a 4-game set tonight from the Big A's. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth and back to Angels Baseball here on Fox Sports West. He's Mark Gubiza and I'm Victor Rojas. And of course, last night, as we've seen throughout the season, really, the resiliency of this ball club. Doesn't matter if this team falls behind early. They somehow figure out a way to battle back and pick up a W.
Yeah, because that comeback was certainly worthy of a Carlos Cam replay. How they were able to come back down 4-0 in the top of the first. But you see some quality at bats. The entire lineup, everybody, 1 through 9 had a hit. Big home run there for Danny Espinosa. But I love the energy throughout this entire game. Some perfect throws in the outfield here from Eric Young Jr. to throw at Aaron Judge at the plate. The energy to cover ground is some outstanding defensive plays. You can feel the energy in this ballpark last night against the Yankees, and the guys played as if it was a playoff game. Eric Young Jr., I'll tell you, has really provided so much of that energy. Then Andrelton Simmons caps it off with down to that one knee, 2-run home run, way out, his 7th home run, 30 RBI on the season for Simba. But what a swing. Talked to him today. He said he had no doubt in his mind that baseball was going to go out a long way.
He better have no doubt in his mind since he went down on a knee a la Adrian Beltre. Proved to be a game winner. Let's see what the Angels do against Matt Strahm, whom they've never faced before. Left-hander making his first major league start of his career. And Ricky Nolasco's on the mound for the Angels, trying to turn things around. He has struggled of late. We're just about ready for baseball here at the Big A. Sit back, relax. Going to bring you the lineups in the first pitch when we return. West is being brought to you by our local Southern California Land Rover retailers. By Jack in the Box, come try the new sweet or spicy barbecue bacon cheeseburger and chicken sandwich for limited time only. And by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places.
Welcome back out to the Big A. First of 4 against the visiting Kansas City Royals. They are on the West Coast swing, having played against the Padres and the San Francisco Giants, and now back into the American League action. They played well on this road trip so far for Kansas City, but still they are struggling. Although in the American League Central, doesn't really matter. They're tied for 3rd, 4.5 games back with a 30-34 record. As you see, Ricky Nolasco and the Angels wearing their alternate red tops, and Ricky trying to turn his fortunes a little bit and see if he can give the Angels 5-6 quality innings against an offense that is starting to swing the bat a little bit better. This is what the lineup looks like for Ned Yost, the skipper of the Kansas City Royals, for game number 65. Of a couple of new faces that the Angels did not see back in early April. Whit Merrifield at second base and Jorge Bonifacio out in right field. But for you, it's Mike Moustakas, who's having a fantastic season right now. Granted, he missed a lot of time last year with the injury, but he's putting himself in prime position to hit the free agent market.
Yeah, and he's got 2 home runs against the Angels this year, 7 in his career, including his first career home run, on pace to break Steve Balboni's all-time record for seasons, home runs in a season with 36. He's at 18 right now for Mike Moustakas, who's really hit the fastball very, very well.
Taking on Ricky Nolasco, as we pointed out to you. He'll be making his 14th start of the season. He's 2-7 and a 4.81 ERA. This is the first appearance this season against Kansas City. He missed them when the Angels got swept at Kauffman Stadium earlier this year. But you look at the overall numbers, he's trying to pick up his first win since back on April 27th against Oakland.
Yeah, 2-4 in his career versus Kansas City with a 4.80 ERA for Ricky Nolasco. And we'll show that throughout the game here, and the importance for Ricky to utilize his curveball, his slider, and his split finger fastball in this game.
Take a look at the defense for the Angels tonight. That'll support Nolasco, Young, Maben, Calhoun in the outfield from left to right. Escobar, Simmons, Espinosa, and Crone from 3rd to 1st. Maldonado behind the plate.
And Cole Calhoun with 3 outfield assists. But what a play he made, we thought made, to finish off the game last night. And he even told me today, I asked him, Cole, did you catch that baseball? He said there's no doubt in his mind that ball was in his glove. As he got back to the wall, leaps up, catches the ball, originally called a catch, but then overturned and gave a double to Aaron Hicks. They allow Aaron Judge to come up to the plate before grounding out, but he thought he made the play, and what an outstanding effort that was by Cole.
Whit Merrifield getting ready to step in, the second baseman. Back with the Angels and Royals first met at Kauffman Stadium back in April, it was Raul Mondesi at second base. First one tonight is in there for a strike. Field and Culbreth, the crew chief, calling the balls and strikes tonight. C.B. Buckner at first, Mark Carlson at second, and Manny Gonzalez at 3rd, the umpiring crew for the series. Line to left, and it's a base hit to lead off this ball game. A hand breaking ball. Merrifield's on board, and it'll bring up Bonifacio.
In my Hyundai key for this game, going with this, try to use that momentum, going a little Led Zeppelin, no quarter. In other words, be aggressive, score runs, score often, and separate yourself from Kansas City, a club that has always in the past come back in the game. So you got to be aggressive both with the glove and at the plate.
Jorge Bonifacio, the right fielder, up, 24-year-old native of the Dominican Republic. Hitting .266, 329 on base percentage, 9 home runs and 23 runs batted in. It was Paulo Orlando in right field when these two teams first met. And at that time, Royals were going through a tough stretch in the month of April. Finished April with a 7-16 record. Able to get closer and closer to 500 so far. Check in on Merrifield. Royals don't run a whole lot. 31 stolen bases on the year. That's 9th in the American League. Lorenzo Cain leads the way. He's been perfect this year, 12 for 12. Good breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bonifacio got the start at AAA this year, played 13 games. 314 there with 3 home runs, 12 runs batted in. Already with 3 outfield assists at right. Another warm one tonight, 82 degrees at first pitch. You get a couple swings like that, you got to go to the well one more time.
I think so. When you look at the numbers this season for Ricky Nolasco, whether he's throwing his two-seam or four-seam fastball, the batting average against his fastballs is a lot higher than his secondary pitches. I think he's got to utilize those pitches quite a bit in this game. You see the numbers, 223 versus secondary pitches. Fastball, 319 with 14 home runs allowed.
Got another one, skies it out to right. Cole coming in on it. One down.
And those secondary pitches being his slider, his curveball, and his split finger fastball.
Merrifield at first, one out. Here's Lorenzo Cain, a 30-year-old. One of several free agents to be for Kansas City.
Mitch Merrifield with pretty good speed himself, 7 stolen bases, but the Angels this season, between the combination of catchers throughout the year, 43.4% they've thrown out base stealers. That's the second best in baseball, trailing only the Cleveland Indians in that category. So they've been very good as far as throwing out base runners. Between Maldonado and Gratterall, and even Carlos Perez when he was up earlier.
Cain, the center fielder, hitting 272, 7 home runs, 22 runs batted in. 11 doubles, a couple triples.
Cain has rolled into 10 double plays this season. So if you get him to reach one of those sliders down and away, get a ground ball to short.
Simmons and Espinosa in a couple of steps at their respective positions. That's out toward right. 2 down. As we've seen the last couple of days, baseball with the warm weather carrying quite a bit. Cain getting underneath that one. So it'll bring up Eric Hosmer. Leadoff single from Merrifield, still standing at first base. Hosmer definitely has turned things around for himself. Got off to a really slow start, but you knew with his track record that he'd eventually come around to swing at the bat to his potential. 315 average.
A guy that can hit the ball very well the other way and still good power. And this should be a pretty tough combination for Ricky Nolasco. Eric Hosmer against fastballs this season, 366 batting average with 5 home runs versus a fastball. 10th best in the majors in that category. We mentioned how Ricky Nolasco's got a batting average of 319 against his fastball. So if you're going to use that fastball, it's got to be a little bit off the plate and down. Tried to throw that split finger fastball. Not a bad pitch, pretty close to a strike.
Hosmer 6 for 16 in his career against Ricky. Five-game hitting streak for the Royal first baseman. 3-0. Salvador Perez on deck.
In the beginning part of the game, you're seeing that sun right in the pitcher's eyes. He's trying to be able to see the sign, hit his target. Hosmer probably is going to be swinging here if he gets a fastball. So you know those numbers against a fastball. If he gets one, he might be hacking 3-0.
That's ball 4. Merrifield will take second.
I think if Maldonado was able to frame that, was pretty close to a strike.
So 2 on 2 outs. 12 pitches thrown by Ricky. Here's Perez. Royals catcher, 4-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove Award winner. In the midst of a 7-game hitting streak, 277 on the season. 24 extra base hits with 11 doubles, 13 jacks. Breaking ball, rolls it foul. But if he can get that pitch working tonight, he threw 3 pretty good ones to Bonifacio. Huge to help neutralize Royals lineup that likes jumping on that fastball.
Yeah, that's what we talked about over the years. But this Royals club, through their great stretch within my back-to-back World Series, if they get themselves in fastball counts, that could be the first pitch too. But in fastball counts, they will hit the ball hard. They will chase off-speed pitches out of the strike zone, though.
A jam, foul back. It's an 0-2 count. Espinosa charged trying to keep Merrifield close to the bag at second. Got him swinging on a fastball. Down goes Salvador. And Ricky picks up his first punch out of the night. 1 to the bottom of the first, scoreless. Pushes lineup for the Halos. Second place, 11 back of the Houston Astros with a 35-34 record. And I think your pick to click tonight is going to be Albert Pujols.
Yeah, you look at the career numbers for Albert against Kansas City. Lives in Kansas City during the offseason. 22 home runs and 74 RBI for Albert Pujols, including a .313 batting average. Very important for Maben and Calhoun to get on base in front of Albert tonight.
That lineup taking on the 25-year-old left-hander, native of West Fargo, North Dakota. Name is Matt Strahm.
Strahm's fastball is pretty firm, 92 to 97. Slider change curve. My go-to is to be successful against him is work some counts. He has walked a lot of batters, and this is his first start tonight, and sit on his four-seam fastball. A ton of fastballs. 76% of his pitches coming out of the bullpen, fastballs.
First one is down and away. Strahm 1-3 with a .450 ERA, 20 relief appearances. Mentioned this is his first major league start. Maben swings through it. It's 1-1 strike. Cam's got himself a 5-game hitting streak, 263 on the season. A couple of hits last night. Angels had a total of 12 against the Yankees. 1-2. Like the tempo which Strahm is working in right now.
Pretty good little slider also.
Back toward the shortstop. That's how City's Escobar. One down. Maben made it interesting though. It'll bring up Calhoun. Take a look at the defense for Kansas City tonight. Gordon, Kane, and Bonifacio out in the outfield from left to right. Moustakas, Escobar, Merrifield, and Hosmer from third to first. Perez behind the dish.
And Moustakas at third base has been at 5 errors, 955 fielding percentage this season. Last year, his highest as far as career percentage at 972, but only that's in 26 starts. A lot more consistent on the defensive side of late, especially this season. Keeps improving.
Cole hitting .236, 10 home runs, 31 runs batted in. 1 for 5 game last night with a single. Caught the corner. That's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Strom's a guy that got drafted out of a junior college in Kansas as a reliever. Wasn't until last year at the minor league level they started to stretch him out as a starter. That is a little bit high. It's 2-1.
He's thrown a couple sliders so far in this game, but his numbers against his four-seam fastball this season, just a 177 batting average against his four-seamer. And he's also thrown, I mentioned how many he's thrown four-seamers, 73.6% are four-seam fastballs. So you can sit on that. That's exactly what that was there at 95.
Kind of has a little Chris Sale arm angle to him. Two balls, 2 strikes. Down the line, that's a fair ball. With Moustakas playing off the line, Cole will get a single, and the ball is bobbled by Alex Gordon, usually a very, very good defender and Gold Glove Award winner. But bobbles that one and allows Cole to take second base.
Yeah, it was right off the bat down the line. You're thinking maybe double, but Alfredo Griffin stopped him right away. Cole Calhoun, as he got the first, knowing that arm that Alex Gordon has 5 outfield assists. Just took his eye off the baseball and couldn't find it. Allows Cole Calhoun to get into scoring position. See him stopping there, hesitate, picks it up, and able to get into second base for Albert Pujols.
Gordon with his first error of the season. Just a 23rd error committed by Kansas City this year. So man in scoring position for Albert. Albert last night, a couple of hits, 2 for 5 overall. With 2,882 career hits, 41st all time. Zach Wheat up next, 40th all time with 2,884. Now a little flare out to right center field. That's going to fall in. Cole's going to be waved in, and the Angels are going to take a 1-0 lead as Albert picks up career RBI number 1,863.
And it looks like a line drive in the box score and another RBI against the Kansas City Royals for Albert Pujols, now 75 in his career, as Cole scores after getting the second base on that error made by Alex Gordon. He jammed him, runs that fastball in, but Albert just punches it in right field for an RBI single. We saw that a lot of late with the Angels playing so well against some really good teams, just taking advantage of some mistakes. 13th all-time on that RBI list, is one away from not a lot to join in at that number 12 spot.
Escobar takes down and away. 46th RBI for Albert on the season. Take down error, take advantage of that error by Alex Gordon.
Yeah, he's a 4-time Gold Glove winner out in left field for Kansas City.
Good rip at that fastball by Escobar. One ball, 1 strike. Uni at 276 on the year, 332 on base percentage. Chop this one to short. Should be 2. And it is. Inning-ending double play. Does it for the Halos, but Pujols picks up the RBI single. Give the Angels a 1-0 lead as we head to the second. I want to remind you that Angels baseball obviously has some of the best seats in the house. Purchase single game tickets or a ticket plan at the Lexus Diamond Club and enjoy exclusive benefits like access to the Lexus Diamond Club restaurant and lounge. I would hope so.
Yeah, you're pretty
For more
pumped
details, call 888-796-HALO or go to angels.com. Yes, you could buy tickets to the Lexus Club, but you're not allowed to go eat there. Just one of the many benefits.
Yes. I think we should do a game from down there.
Again?
Again, yes.
Let's wait till it cools down. No chance? Moustakas.
That's a pretty good pitch.
Very good pitch.
Two-seamer inside corner, didn't get the call.
1 ball, 1 strike. That is ripped foul.
And the one thing about Moustakas, I would shy away from pitching that fastball inside. He got his bat broken on that off-speed pitch. Mentioned Hosmer with good numbers against fastball. Moustakas, great power numbers against fastballs this season. And a .328 batting average with 10 home runs for Moustakas.
18 home runs on the season with a .278 batting average. Career high 22. His one and only All-Star season of 2015. 1-2. Went away from him, found it back. Escobar on deck, then Moss. Good pitch. There's that breaking ball. Chrome will take it himself.
See that difference in that swing versus a slow curveball as compared to a fastball. He's out in front, got himself out on that one.
City's Escobar coming to the plate. Kansas City 11th in team batting average, 10th in home runs, 15th in runs scored, 15th in on-base percentage, 14th in slugging. Actually, this is their 65th game. Just playing their 70th of the season. Escobar swinging first pitch, pulls it through the left side for a 1-out knock. Notorious on the first pitch.
And good numbers in his career also against Nolasco, now 9 for 25. Not running as much as he has in the past. His one stolen baseman caught twice.
But getting on might be has been a little bit of a problem for him. You can't steal first base, at least not yet. But he has struggled this year to a .216 on base percentage, which is so uncharacteristic for him. Brandon Moss signing in the offseason with Kansas City. He'll swing first pitch, lift one out to left. Our first EY Junior sighting of the night. 2 down.
And Kansas City has always been known as a club. They will be swinging to that first pitch. And you can use that against them too. You can still throw your fastball first pitch, but you got to start it a little bit off the corner. See if they allow them to get themselves out. But do not throw that first pitch fastball in the strike zone against them.
.348 average as a team. 15 home runs. The old Chili Davis school of hitting, right?
Yes.
Hey, if it's there, jump on it. Might be the best pitch you get.
And, you know, you always think, oh, well, you want to get yourself into a fastball count. Well, that might be the time to get your fastball as the first pitch.
It might be the only time to get a fastball. Gordon hitting 185, 2 home runs on the season, 12 runs batted in. Batting in the nice spot. He'll line one out to right field. Cole has to go back on it. Jumps up. It's in out of his glove. Escobar with good speed heading to third. He's going to be waved in. He airmails the cutoff man, and because of that, the Angels have no play at the plate, and we're tied at 1. It's a double for Alex Gordon and an RBI.
Hit well, and Cole going back on the baseball, times his leap it off the glove and gets away from him. And as he tried to pick it up quickly, knowing how aggressive Kansas City will be when they're always going to try to score, but the high throw, the relay throw over the head of Danny Espinosa, and allows Escobar to come all the way around from first. You see that ball off the glove.
So it's a double, no RBI for Gordon. Cole's getting charged with an error. Third of the season for Calhoun.
Again, that was a fastball that Gordon hit.
Merrifield hits one out toward left, toward the corner. Young's not going to get there. One hops into the seats. 2-1 Kansas City. A double by Whit Merrifield. That was a hanging breaky ball. Merrifield with a couple of hits already tonight. Picks up his 24th run batted in.
This pitch is spun back right into that swing path for Merrifield, and he's been swinging the bat well himself. Second hit of the game already. 24th RBI, picks up his 8th double of the season. Playing Kansas City during the stretch in which they've won 4 in a row, they've been scoring at least 7 runs in each of those games.
Over to short. Simmons has it. Inning comes to an end, but 2 runs come across. And they believe they're going to be unearned runs. But Kansas City on top 2-1. Kansas City up 2-1. Both runs earned, actually, against Ricky Nolasco, even though there was an error sandwiched in there. Simmons, Crow, and Maldonado here against Strom. Will deliver a strike. Simmons hitting .281, 7 home runs, 30 runs batted in. Middleton had a 1-for-3 game with a home run, a walk, 2 runs scored. Lifted to left towards there.
Very similar swing that we saw last night from Andrelton Simmons. Take a look at our tools of the trade brought to you by Ram Trucks. Going back to that home run last night. Goes down to one knee, but still had some great leverage on that baseball. Knew it was long gone. Barreled the back, kept his head down. 2-run home run hit extremely far by Andrelton Simmons, even with the one knee down. Hello, Adrian Beltre. Crushed that ball to left.
Two balls, no strikes. TJ Crone at .229. Couple of home runs, 14 runs batted in. So 4 doubles on the season. 2 balls, 1 strike. Strom, a 25-year-old, 21st round pick out of Neosho County Community College. That's in Chanute, Kansas. Played a lot of summer baseball in Chanute, Kansas. Just foul back to it too. Strom's a guy that high energy, which is why they liked him out of the bullpen. They got to make sure that he slows things down as a starter.
Exactly. Coming into a game, 18 walks and 22 innings pitched. And you can see that live army as he rushed that one up there, 97.
Full count.
He's given up 3 home runs to right-handed batters this season.
And he walked him. First free pass issued by the lefty, and we'll bring up Martin Maldonado. There had only been one player that had seen Strom before. That was maybe just one at bat last year as a member of the Tigers. For everyone else, it's video, word of mouth, and then actual experience when you come to the plate.
Again, you always have that advantage as a pitcher that first time through, even though you can look at all the video they won, all the printouts and what his tendencies are. Still, until you see and read the spin of the fastball and the movement of his fastball and slider and changeup. Two catchers in this game. Martin Maldonado at the plate. Salvador Perez behind the plate to catch a ton of games this season. Both have thrown out their fair share of base stealers. Perez this season 31%, 48% last season for Salvador Perez.
60th game for him behind the plate tonight. Maldonado 57th. No balls, 2 strikes. Maldonado 257. 328 on base percentage. He had the night off last night with Juan Granderol getting to start behind the dish. Two 2-1 Royals. We're in the second. Time called. That's out toward right. Jason Bonifacio back. Shy of the warning track. Makes the catch. 2 down. Thrown back to first.
Did pretty well by Maldonado the other way.
Eric Young Jr., the switch hitting left fielder up. He's been the Halos dynamo. It's being called up. 333 average, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, 429 on base percentage.
Tied for 13 in his career versus Kansas City at 333 batting average for EY Jr.
17th game since his call up. Signed in the offseason with the Angels.
Strom does not move off that pitching rubber. He stays right in there, gets the sign for Salvador Perez with no wasted energy and time.
That's that changeup you were talking about.
Yeah, it's a good one. Good fade action on his changeup, especially when you think about the differential and the speeds of that pitch. That's around 84, 85 with his changeup. Fastball is 93 to 97. So pretty good separation in the speeds of those 2 pitches. You see the difference when you see a hitter swinging a changeup the pitch before and then a fastball in. It got on him quickly. Now as a hitter, try to put the ball in play.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cronenworth at first. He worked the walk. And Ely goes down swinging. The Angels are done here in the second. 1 to the third with the Royals up 2-1. Savings on select models in Hyundai's history is going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Kansas City on top 2-1 as we begin the third. Kane, Hosmer, and Perez against Ricky Nolasco. Gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error by Cole. That was in the second inning. Kane hit a fly ball to right field in the first. And he'll drive this one to the alley on left center field. That one is hit well and is gone. On a line, on a breaking ball, Lorenzo Cain hammers one for his 8th of the season to give the Royals a 3-1 lead.
An aggressive swinging once again for Kansas City. 20th home run now allowed by Ricky Nolasco. Stayed above, right around belt high, middle of the plate. Lorenzo Cain, 8th home run of the season, 23rd RBI. Starting to heat up as far as the home run swing. 6 home runs last 12.
Hosmer pulls it into the shift. Espinosa out of the grass. 1 down. Eric 0 for 1. He walked into first. There's Salvador Perez. Home run allowed by Nolasco. There's 19. 20th. 97th allowed by the Angels this season. Chop. That's a good pitch. In on the hands. 2 down. Hey, join the Halos tomorrow, Christmas in June. Kansas City Royals still in town. Fans in attendance receive a Santa Rally Monkey while supplies last. It's courtesy of Farmer John. More info, just get angels.com.
Cool view right there from that angle.
Don't look into the light.
No.
Moustakas, a ground out in his first AB.
You see those numbers in the month of June, 383 for Moustakas.
Well, the entire lineup really, if you talk about progressively getting better offensively. Maybe it's the whole cold weather thing until it starts to heat up, but they hit 210 in April, 248 in May with 34 home runs. They're hitting 293. They're down 20 home runs this month.
And they're in that spot now where they're right in that conversation for the AL Central once again for Ned Yost's club, and then they have some impending free agents, and a lot of them very good players. They have to make a lot of decisions with this offseason.
General Manager Dayton Moore is going to have to make some tough decisions, as that one got off of Maldonado, and Fielding Colbert will give him a chance to wear that one. You have to value, or I guess weigh the value of staying in it with the guys that you have and know who you probably have a shot at signing or not signing versus making some moves for the future. Getting the return now. And Moustakas works a 2-out walk.
I mean, you look at the division in the AL Central, nobody looks like they have it in them this season to run away with. Everyone's picking Cleveland early on, but they're just one game over 500.
I would imagine, having grown up there, and you played there for many years, so you essentially grew up there as well, that if you're a Royals fan, you've had an incredible run with this core of players. I think your mindset is, I'd like to kind of keep up every single year. And what is the best option in order for that to happen? Is it to ride out the season and maybe get another ring, get to that point where you get another ring, or you make the decision now to let me restock?
Yeah, I mean,
and get a chance to jump out of the gate starting in 2018.
They ran into that problems for a lot of years. They go for veterans, they go for the youth movement, and then finally they figured it out. They brought together a lot of their young players. They drafted high draft picks from Moustakas to Hosmer, all the guys coming through, and then they supplemented with veterans around them. Now all of a sudden those young stars have become veterans themselves. Yeah. And talking to people back in Kansas City even earlier today on a radio show, that they're still at that point where they feel this team has another run in them or two with this core group they have.
You're talking about core guys. Hosmer at first, Moustakas at third, Escobar, the shortstop, Lorenzo Cain in center field. I mean, that's the heart.
Yes, it is.
Of your ball club. Salvador Perez has signed long term. Alex Cord has signed long term as well.
That's one of those tough things. Even when you look at the Yankees, when they had their core going through with Jeter and Posada and Bernie Williams and all those guys, it came to the point where you had to make a decision.
Escobar pulling this one toward the corner. One hops into the seats. Another mistake by Ricky Nolasco, and now City's Escobar, who came in batting 193, has 2 hits on the night. And the Royals have runners at second and third with 2 outs.
Runs that fastball in. He brings his hands inside the baseball. He's able to get the barrel out quickly on that fastball inside. And fortunately enough, it bounces into the stands.
4 of the 6 hits, extra base hits against Nolasco. Brandon Moss will be coming up next.
All of a sudden, even though it's early in the game, he's a very important batter here for Nolasco. Which we're going to go to the full windup now.
Moss hit a fly ball to left in his first at bat. That pitch,
that was a good split finger fastball. One thing about this Kansas City club this season, their bullpen hasn't been as strong. You got to keep it close here. That was a dangerous pitch. That fastball ran hard to the plate, and Brandon Moss had a good swing at it. He knew he missed his pitch. And that's why you're going to have a conversation now with Martin Maldonado, Ricky Nolasco. And with a starting pitcher on the mound for Kansas City tonight, making his first start, more than likely, that pitch count won't be as high as you would normally see a starting pitcher, so it's going to be a bullpen game eventually for Kansas City. So Nolasco got to keep it close here.
1-2. Got him swinging. Down goes Moss on the off-speed pitch. The Royals get one. They add to the lead. It's 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the third. Third inning. Folks, tonight we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. Every home run and strikeout in this game raises money for prostate cancer research. So far since June 1st, over $3.3 million have been raised in the challenge. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. Nine 1-2 for the Angels here in the third. Espinosa, Maben, and Calhoun. And he homered last night. 2-run shot, 6th of the season. 24 runs batted in. The average at 166.
Boy, a ton of room out in left center field for Danny Espinosa. Lorenzo Cain playing Espinosa to hit the ball the other way. Especially with a high fastball from Strom, has a chance to drive that ball that way. With a big home run hit from the left side last night. Solid defensive night for him also.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Strom starts on the third base side for the pitching rubber. Pretty good deception in his delivery though.
Hit towards short, and Escobar, that ball jumped up on him. Stays with it. Danny retired for the first out.
Now it's time for the driver's seat, brought to you by the new 2017 Kia Sorento. The Angels, that comeback win last night, 25 comeback wins this year. And the majors back in 2014 with 45 comeback wins on the way to 98 wins back in 2014. It's the fourth win also by trailing by 4 or more runs during the stretch as far as comeback wins for the Angels. Down 4-0 in the first inning last night.
May have been grounded out at his first.
That on base percent just under 500 during this stretch. Last 19 games for Cameron Maybin.
Two balls, one strike. That is hit out toward left, hit pretty well, but toward the corner. Alex Gord moving back on it, steps onto the track and puts it away for out number 2.
Did pretty well on that all-speed pitch. Gordon able to track that down on the warning track.
Cole, a single and a run scored in the first. No balls, 2 strikes. Strom a strikeout, a walk, 2 hits allowed. He's retired 4 straight.
He's got a little Mark Burley or Jim Cott in him. He doesn't waste any time in between pitches.
Breaking ball line to center field. Lorenzo Cain will play it on a hop. He thought about it. Cole with a 2-hit game. And nothing pulled. First one down to third base line. This one,
when he stays back and just tries to use the whole field, very, very solid. Breaking ball, stayed short through his approach. Base it into center field, allowing Albert Pujols to come to the plate. Potential tying run with one swing of the bat.
Albert singled home a run in the first. 46th RBI. One ball, no strikes.
It was a lot more sliders than he does curveballs. Still think he can adjust from on his breakable. Sit fastball for Albert. He challenged him with a fastball. Got to buy him upstairs. His changeup, that good fade changeup that he has. I think when you look at the best pitches so far we've seen from the youngster, fastball and his changeup. His breaking balls have been okay, but you can track him a little bit better than his fastball and his changeup.
Two one on the way. Time was called. Albert even swung at it. Feeling Colbert alertly got out of the way of it. Everybody stayed home except for Fielding. He's the smart one.
Yes. And Albert's got a little bit of a smile going back there too. Fielding did a little moonwalking. Doing his best Michael Jackson impersonation.
That was straight out of Naked Gun right there. All we need is Enrico Palazzo to come out. 3 balls and a strike. Reggie Jackson was here the other day.
Yes.
We bring it all together.
Yes, it would.
Was it must kill the queen?
Wonderful throw him a change up here, 3-1.
He did. He skies it to center. Halos get a 2-out single and nothing more. 3 in the books. Halos down 3-1. When we return, Angels first round pick Joe Adell joining us in the booth. At 3-1 as Kansas City sends up 9-1-2, and it's our pleasure to welcome in the 2017 first-round pick of the Los Angeles Angels, Joe Adell. Welcome to our broadcast booth.
Thank you for having me.
That hat looks good on you.
It feels great.
Yeah, the good colors.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, you're a Louisville Cardinal fan. You were going to go to the University of Louisville, right?
Absolutely.
So that you got it all planned out.
No doubt about it.
What was it like to finally get that contract in front of you and put that signature on there?
You know, I think of it more of like a graduation almost, that I moved to the next step of my life, and you know, with this Angels organization, I just feel like I'm at home, and I am. And you know, I really felt the day I got drafted that I was their guy, and that's really important to me, and that's what I wanted throughout this whole draft process.
Yeah, Joe, going back to that day when they announced your name, that the Angels had drafted you, how great of a feeling was that for you?
It was unbelievable. You know, the weather out here, the fans, the team. Being able to go and talk to Trout and listen to him and how he made it, and you know, just being around the guys these past couple of days has been awesome, and I just have a great feel that when I'm here.
Product of Ballard High School, the Gatorade Player of the Year for Kentucky, and like we said, you were going to sign a letter of intent to go to the University of Louisville. Now the question becomes, who's the best athlete in your family? Your sister was a softball player, Gatorade Player of the Year, right? If I'm not mistaken. Softball, yes. Went to Tennessee. She transferred to Louisville, and now she's throwing javelin for the track team at the University of Louisville.
As crazy as it sounds.
So is she the one? She the best athlete?
I'd have to give it to her for sure. Anyone who can go from playing softball and Division I level and coming over and just hopping on the track and field team. But she never ran track before in her life, never done track events. So it's a pretty special athlete.
Now, as far as the Angels, and I know Gibby was talking about the organization, and when they start talking to you, scouts start talking to you, and you're getting closer and closer to the draft. What was that like for you when you start hearing your name and where it might fall in that first round? when it starts to get honed in and say, hey, you're going to be our guy if you're there for us? So, take us through that for a moment, because for a high school kid, I can only imagine the emotions and the number of things that are running through your mind as picks start ticking off, and you're wondering, when am I going to go and where am I going to go?
It was pretty humbling to hear my name at the top of the ranks. The big thing for me was really two things. When I committed to Louisville, Coach Mack always told me, he said, no matter what happens, be where your feet are, and basically stay grounded. And I felt like I did that this year, and the easiest way to do that was, also joking around, having a good time with my teammates, and making it a fun time, not making it too serious. It is pretty serious, when 30 guys show up to watch you play pretty much every game. But I was able to move that off to the side and just focus on my team and winning games. So that really worked out well for me this year.
And a lot of really good young talent, a lot of high school kids drafted early on in the first round. That was pretty cool to be able to see and be part of.
Oh, no doubt. Guys that you played with, played against, and just to see them making that life-changing decision and seeing what teams they go to, it was awesome. It was unbelievable.
Alex scored with a leadoff home run here. The fourth, his third of the season. And it's a 4-1 Royals lead. Second home run allowed by Nolasco, as Merrifield's already with a couple of hits. Joe Adell, the Angels' first-round pick, already signed, sealed, and delivered. Now what's the plan for you? What have they told you? What's next? Where you're headed?
This weekend I have a get-together in North Carolina. Both sides of my family are from there, so I'll go there and spend time with them. Since I was actually at the draft, I didn't get to see them. And next Wednesday I'll be in Arizona, getting started, working out, and getting ready to do my thing. So I'm excited.
It's a dry heat in Arizona.
Oh, it's a dry heat.
Remember that, okay?
It's a dry heat for sure. I've been out there, and they told me, even when you think you're not sweating, it's probably already dried. So.
Right, yeah. Gooby, any advice for the youngster as he starts organized ball?
I think, especially when you're drafted out of the high school, I was the same thing. When you go down there, you have great numbers. You had great numbers in high school, and all of a sudden you get there, and there's a lot of guys as good as you are. And that's the big thing. You realize the competition is supreme at that point, but you just got to go out there and relax and have fun.
For sure, you definitely do have to do that. I was one of those guys. I was a two-way player at first, right? So I was a primary pitcher that hit. That was my title before really just being an outfielder. And I went through those summer struggles of seeing velocity and seeing guys during the high school circuit that can throw it hard and make it move. And so I had to adjust, and I know what that's like, and I know kind of what those slumps are like, but definitely moving forward, you just got to stay with your approach. And
that's got to help you out too when you think about it as a hitter, because you were a pitcher and you see how difficult it is to hit the baseball, and it allows you now as a hitter just to really shorten up there and be more consistent.
Definitely does. Definitely had to shorten up the swing and make solid contact.
This one grounded to short, should be the second down of the inning. Before we let you go, and there's a lot of talk, there has been, especially this draft, about the two-way player, guys maybe perhaps trying to do that in professional baseball. And it's one thing to do it in high school, maybe even at the college level, but it becomes a little bit more difficult, especially with the investment of a player. Do you see that more and more? Do you see players now thinking about trying to take it to the next level, do the multi-position thing?
I think it's a good thing to let guys try both and see what works out. I mean, you don't want to limit yourself to only one thing. So, but at the end of the day, I think you have to start off hitting first. I think that's what you have to do, and it's hard to just be a pitcher and come back and hit. I'd much rather see a guy start off hitting and pitch at the end. You can always get back on the mound. It's just harder to get your timing and get your rhythm back at the plate. But I think it's a great thing. I think that baseball needs that, and it's just more and more athletes that you're seeing that can do both, and that's a good thing.
Oh, Joe, we appreciate it. The one thing Gooby will always tell you is that the pitchers are the smartest guys on the field. Don't believe that.
Yes.
All right,
he pitched too. That's why
he became a right fielder and led the nation in home runs.
The best athletes. I said that.
Congratulations. Welcome to the Los Angeles Angels.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Joe Adell. Royals up 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the fourth.
West is being brought to you by the all-new 2017 Subaru Impreza. Subaru's symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 28 miles per gallon. More than a car, it's a Subaru. And by Jerome's Furniture, home of Jerry's Price and proudly the official furniture store of Angels baseball.
Halos down 4-1, bottom of the fourth inning. Yunel Escobar to lead things off. 7 hits for Kansas City, 3 for the Halos. It'll be Escobar, Simmons, and Cron. Matt Strahm, first major league start, 21st appearance this year. And this one's driven out towards center. Kane moves over, puts it away for the first out. He's now 0 for 2 now. He's going to do a double play in the first inning. Oh, what a impressive young man. So Adele is. He is Torrey Hunter in the making already.
Exactly.
He could put on the headsets and just be an analyst.
And you know, people even on Twitter said, "Wow, what a nice kid!" As he's everything you can imagine. A great player. You can see the numbers already. He's going to be a star in this at the major league level. But his personality, his smile, and his love for the game already pretty amazing.
Yep. Jessica's his sister, who went to University of Tennessee to play softball and now is running track or the javelin for the University of Louisville. His dad was a 12th round pick for these New Orleans Saints. Had a lot of issues, herniated disc if I'm not mistaken. They had made it determined his mom's a principal at middle school there.
What a serious athletic family.
Yeah.
Some talent. How cool was that for him to get an opportunity to meet Mike Trout right away, too?
Yeah.
Trout went through this whole process not that long ago himself. It feels like he's been in the big leagues for 15 years, but he was just, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, going through that same thing.
Popped up, foul territory. Hosmer, Railing runs out of room. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. Simmons hit a fly ball to left in the second. So he's 0 for 1.
So again, when you look at that slider, seems like it's still pretty trackable to hit. But that fastball, when it's upstairs, has been very effective. Will get his fair share of fly ball outs. Already 5 in the game.
Foul back.
Pretty good swing by Andrelton Simmons on a fastball.
This one down the line. Long run for Bonifacio, racing toward the foul line. Makes the catch in fair territory. 2 down. Strahm has settled in nicely. Solo base runners in the second and third. Nothing else. No stress really for him. Cronenworth the only walk that Strahm's issued so far, and that was in the second. Off the end of the bat to short. Halos down in order. We'll head to the 5th inning. 4-1 Kansas City. Series from Michigan, sponsored by Outback Steakhouse. Coverage begins Sunday at 11 a.m. Pacific on FS1. It's top of the 5th here at the Big A. It's the opening game of this 4-game set against Kansas City. 4-1 Royals. A couple of home runs allowed by Ricky Nolasco. Now 21 allowed on the season. With that being said, the Angels offense has not been able to figure out Matt Strom. Just an RBI single by Pujols in the first. And remember, that was helped out courtesy of the error by Alex Gordon that allowed Cole to go from first on a base hit to second. Strom in his first major league start has 1 strikeout, 1 walk, just 3 hits allowed, all 3 singles. Hosmer, Perez, and Moustakas for Kansas City here in the 5th. Velasco with 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Hosmer has 1 of those base on balls. He's also grounded out. Sharply hit right side, backhanded by Cron. Velasco's there, 1 down.
A lot of improvement in that fielding at first base for C.J. Cron. We saw it a lot in spring training. Took a lot of extra ground balls in Tempe. It's paid off pretty well during the season, showing better range and a better idea as far as leading the pitcher, getting in that base, perfect feed over to Velasco to get the first out of the inning.
Salvador Perez 0 for 2, struck out in the first, grounded out in the third.
Falling behind 3 in a row with pitches well off the outside corner for Nolasco. Had 3 3-0 counts so far in this game.
You knew he was hacking 3-0.
You know, on that pitch right there for Nolasco, I thought he did a much better job of keeping his front shoulder in more, which creates better deception. That's a pretty good sink on a fastball, 91. Again, another good job as far as keeping that front shoulder. In the first 3 pitches he threw against Salvador Perez, that front shoulder opened up, and why that becomes easier for a hitter to see the ball out of the hand, because all of a sudden you take away deception. You're seeing the baseball from the get-go when you're delivering it, as compared to when you keep that front shoulder in, you have deception to hide the baseball.
Breaking pitch, and that is ripped fair. That ball was rocketed into the corner. Salvador Perez in at second with a double.
Mike Scioscia was looking down to see if indeed that was a fair ball or not.
Looked like it from here. It took Manny Gonzalez a second as he spun around. Have Steve Solis take a look at it downstairs.
See if indeed this got right down the line, hit well, lined. Yep, right on that chalk and down the line for a double. See right there, right on the chalk by his foot.
I like when umpires take a beat before they make a decision.
Yeah, especially when you know your thought process is getting out of the way of that line drive. The first and foremost, nice job by Manny to be able to see that baseball on the chalk and make the right call.
The other thing too, because you spin around like that, you got to make sure you're pointing the right way.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're facing home, he points right, it's foul. Got to make sure. Okay, where?
If you're Ricky Nolasco, that's what you're hoping it happen. Spin the other way. No, foul.
0-1 to Moustakas, down and in. Mike 0 for 1. He grounded out in the second, walked in the third.
Ran that two-seamer back. It froze Moustakas. Gave up on it initially, thinking it was going to be a ball. You think with a pitch like that, that two-seamer catches the inside corner, you could have him set up for that splitter going down and away.
Oh, good breaking ball. 2 down. 4th strikeout of the night.
It's going to be a quick conversation because Escobar has seen the ball very well out of the hand of Ricky Nolasco tonight. A single and a double already. Good curveball, straight down, 12-6 break at 75. So differential from 91 on a fastball to 75 with his curveball. Out in front, no contact made by Moustakas. See the differential in the speeds. 72 being the slowest curveball, 92 best fastball tonight for Nolasco.
El City's Escobar, 2 for 2 with a single and a double. Perez at second base with a double. 6 of the 8 hits allowed by Ricky tonight, extra base hits. Two and 0.
Nolasco with 73 pitches in the game so far here in the 5th inning with 2 outs.
2-1. Like the Royals are starting to get some action going. Somebody playing catch out there. Cities lifts one out to right center. Drifting back toward Cole. 3rd out is recorded. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Bottom 3rd of the order coming up for the Angels, down 4-1. Fifth inning. Want to remind you to celebrate Father's Day with the Angels Sunday. Royals in town to wrap up this 4-game set. First 20,000 adults in attendance. Get a Father's Day coffee by courtesy of Old Dominion Household Services. Just go to angels.com for more info. Maldonado, Young, and Espinosa trying to figure out the lefty Matt Strahm. 1 strikeout, 1 walk, 3 singles allowed. Maldonado's 0 for 1 with a fly ball to right.
They've really been under control, too, for making that first major league start. Got to give a lot of credit to Salvador Perez behind the plate also, the veteran. He's had to deal with a number of pitchers this season making their debut at the major league level for Kansas City.
Maldonado goes down swinging, one away.
A couple real good breaking balls in a row in that at bat against Maldonado. This one expanded the strike zone in the dirt with a swing and miss.
Young punch down to the second. A pop up on the infield. Moustakas calls off Strom. 2 outs. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Los Angeles Angels and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. Danny 0 for 1 with a ground ball to short.
So you go high fastball. Also throwing a lot of strikes. 5-0-2 counts for the youngster. 65 pitches, very manageable pitch count in that first start at the major league level. 44 strikes.
That's out toward the corner. This one's got a chance to sneak around that foul pole, and that is gone. Big fly for Danny Espinosa. Halos get a run. It's 4-2 Kansas City.
And they're going to take a look at it more than likely on a home run ball if it did indeed stay in and get around that foul pole. See this? It looks like it's going to go foul. That's a foul ball. And they're going to check that. They might not even have to go to the replay. They might get together as a group. Here are the 4 umpires. It looked like that did go foul.
Danny, might as well get the high fives while you can.
Yep.
These are the umpires getting together. It's not a manager's challenge.
And kind of a surprising pitch, too, by Strom, throwing back-to-back breaking balls. After 2 fastballs got by Danny. You see right here, if you see that baseball and you still see the white of the baseball as it goes by the foul pole, you know it ends up being it's going to be foul.
Looks like they're going to check it out themselves. Oh, they got together. It's a home run, they're saying. So it looks like Yost is going to.
I would think they would challenge that.
Yeah, so he's going to challenge it. So right now it's a home run. But the Royals are actually challenging this one.
I didn't think it was going to take long.
Foul ball. The count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. Goes upstairs and gets a 1-2-3 inning for Strom. He's retired 7 straight. 5 complete, 4-1 Kansas City.
Earlier today in Washington, they played that softball game, a charity softball game, saying a prayer for Steve Scalise, who was shot. And they were able to play the softball game, and then the officer who was involved and saved a number of people there throws out the first pitch. 25,959 people attended for charity.
Broken bat, fly ball to right. Cole will track this one down. 1 down.
Again, that was a baseball game, not a softball game. They've done that since back in 1909. Democrats and Republicans been playing. Going into the game today, 39-39-1 between the two. Democrats won the game today. Now the lead 40-39-1 as far as overall lead in that game, but raised a lot of money for charity.
Alex Gordon, 2 for 2 with a double and a home run. Three-hit game for Gordon. Now a triple shy of the cycle.
Second baseman, number 15, Whit Merrifield.
Leadoff man Whit Merrifield, the second baseman, 2 for 3 with a single, double, strikeout. So also picked up an RBI. Gordon, by the way, gets his first 3-hit game of the season tonight, batting in that number 9 spot. One roster moved by the Angels before the game today. Parker Bridwell, who pitched last night, sent back down to AAA. Daniel Wright is here and in the bullpen and available. Good lead for Gordon at first. Out to right, Cole. Just to back up a little bit. 2 down.
One thing we've seen from Kansas City over the years, they use the entire field. Generally a club, although 4 strikeouts in a game, they're going to put the ball in play. Merrifield has hit the ball well 3 times today. That one's hit well, but Cole able to run that one down.
So 2 outs to the man at first, and here's Jorge Bonifacio. Right fielder's 0 for 3. Fly ball to right, and a couple of ground outs to short.
Good breaking ball there from Nolasco.
Royals have Scott Alexander loosening in their bullpen. Another lefty. This is Strom's first major league start, 20 relief appearances this year. .84 pitches for Nolasco. 2-1. Bouncer to third. Escobar go the short way. 4-shot Gordon in the 6th. Top of the 6th is complete. Top of the order coming up for the Angels, down 4-1.
Brought to you by T-Mobile. Cleveland Indians, Edwin Encarnacion won a big game against the Dodgers, went 3 for 3, including a home run. 3 home runs last 6 games. Chris Jimenez, 2 home runs, first multi-home run game of his career for Minnesota as they beat the Seattle Mariners 6-2 up in Target Field. Now let's take a look at our showstopper around the majors. Miguel Cabrera with a chance for a walk-off with 1 on. Well, there is a walk-off against the Tampa Bay Rays going the other way. That's that power swing for Miguel Cabrera going to right center field as the Tigers win that one at home against the Tampa Bay Rays, who are having a pretty solid season themselves.
That home run for Miggy, 452nd of his career, tying it with Carl Yastrzemski for 37th all-time. Climbing up the ladder.
Both those guys together as far as Triple Crown winners.
Yep. Matt Strahm done after 68 pitches, 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 run that was unearned, 3 strikeouts and a walk. Very good first major league start. Scott Alexander, the lefty from Santa Rosa, takes over on the mound. This will be his 14th game, 0-1 record, a 1.37 ERA. He gets Maben, Calhoun, and Pujols to start the 6th. Cameron's 0 for 2. A ground ball to short and a fly ball to left. This is sharply hit to second. Eats up Merrifield and ricochets out of the shallow right. So the Angels get their leadoff man on board. See how they rule that one.
Hit very well by Maben. The play ended up being an error off the midsection. Merrifield being an error, his 5th error.
Merrifield commits his 5th error of the season. There's Cole, 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. David stole his 20th base last night, so they're going to pay close attention to him.
Maybe with 20 stolen bases, been caught once. We mentioned earlier, though, Perez very good behind the plate, throwing out 31%, 48 last season. So my Hyundai key for this game, the Eagles come back going with no quarter. Got to play a little bit better right now. Kansas City so far is throwing the bats well, but plenty of time to come back. Talked about 25 comeback victories for the Angels this season. This is an opportunity, especially this part of the lineup, to do some damage.
Broken bat line at a third. 1 down. David back to first base. Bring up Albert.
Sanders' fastball is going to be 90-94 range. So he'll throw a slider and a changeup and a lot of fastballs. See if Albert can catch one of those fastballs in the inside part of the plate.
Albert 1 for 2 with an RBI single in the first. Alexander's been tough on teams. Unscored upon in 18 of his last 21 games going back to last August.
Paid a lot of attention to Cameron Maben at first base.
Not the best of moves either.
No, certainly hasn't showed an A move yet.
9th round pick out of Sonoma State. That was in 2010. A couple of cups of coffee prior to this season. 1-0.
Back-to-back borderline fastballs. Albert in a real good hitter's count now.
First time anybody in the Angels has faced Alexander. 2-0. Turned that one over a little bit. A sinking fastball. 2-1.
See that sinker going away from a right-handed batter. That's a little bit better of a move, that quick move. It's that Terry Mulholland move where you would just get into that stretch position, throw over quickly, step off. Guy who picked off quite a few base runners in his career.
Chopper over the mound. Escobar comes in. Bare hand action. 2 down. David ends up at second. Escobar 0 for 2 against Strom. Double play ball in the first, a fly ball to center in the fourth. Strom did a really nice job of taking an offense that has swung the bat well over the last week plus. Limited what they were able to do. Got ahead early, finished off hitters. Alexander overly preoccupied with Maven at first with a 3-run lead here in the 6th and 2 outs.
You can almost see it with 1 out or no outs, but with 2 outs, even if Cameron Maven steals third, it's still going to take more likely a base hit to score him. You still maybe get a run on a wild pitch. And Escobar wants that preoccupation to be able to force him to make a bad pitch.
Everything's been away to right-handed batter, at least so far.
Well, you would think when you throw a fastball like that, a changeup would be pretty good also to off that pitch, but he doesn't throw a lot. There's a lot of fastballs.
Back up the middle, and that'll sneak through for a base hit. Maven will come in to score rather easily, and the Angels get a run. It's 4-2 Kansas City. Escobar with his 19th run batted in.
And the Angels showing that resilience once again. Get closer in this ballgame, now down only by 2. And another perfect swing going right back up the middle. High fastball just above the belt. Lines it right back up the middle and by Alexander for an RBI single. 19th RBI for Escobar. And another run scored for Cameron Maven. Give him now 38 runs scored on the season for Maven.
Pete Boylan getting ready.
Job once again by Maven, scoring another run.
38th that he has scored this year. Simmons hits one out toward right center field. Bonifacio calling for it. And there's the 3rd out. The Angels get a run here in the 6th inning. We'll head to the 7th. Kansas City leading at 4-2. Northwest is being brought to you by Metro Nissan of Montclair. Doing it right. Top of the 7th, Ricky Nolasco back out. Angels have nobody warming up in the bullpen. 4-2 Kansas City. 3-4-5 coming up against Ricky. Gave up 2 runs in the second inning. Solo runs in the third and fourth. He's given up 9 hits, 2 of which have been home runs. Lorenzo Cain 1 for 3 with a home run. Came back in the third inning. That was a line shot over the wall in left center field.
That was a break ball. That was a hanging break ball right there for Ricky Nolasco. You want to throw that first pitch for a strike, but you want to make sure you avoid that middle of the plate with an all-speed pitch. It's Mike Sweeney, the Royals Hall of Fame. Grew up here in Orange County. One of the all-time great guys.
Yeah, Mike Sweeney's one of the all-timers.
Always with a smile on his face.
Yep.
Always.
Always happy. I think actually he's angry right now.
Yes, that's
his angry look.
Yeah, it's his angry face.
Oh, see, he knows what we're talking about.
Yes.
He's getting locked in. 2 on.
Well, he was a very good hitter in his career. Gap type hitter, right field, left field, using the entire gap. Not necessarily a home run hitter. Started out as a catcher. Turned into a very good major league player.
A lot of guys started off as catchers for some reason in the Royals organization. Remember back in the 70s they had the Royals Baseball Academy.
Yes.
Right. Frank White was a product of that.
Yes, he was.
Royal Hall of Famer. Ron Washington.
Yes, that's right.
Was a catcher in that baseball academy.
Yes, he was.
Royals Baseball Academy. Cain just out in front of it.
I actually stayed in those dorms when I was drafted my rookie year. Talking to Joe Adele today about going down there to away from home the first time at a high school, going into a dorm room down there at the baseball academy in Sarasota, Florida.
Line to left center field. Another hit for Cain. David cuts it off. Cain is going to slam on the brakes. Thought about it. Lead off single, 10th hit for Kansas City tonight. That'll bring up Eric Hosmer to take a look at some of the scores throughout Major League Baseball. Short schedule on this Thursday. Seattle dropped the final game of that 4-game set to Minnesota, so they split the 4-game series. Minnesota 6-2. Mentioned the walk-off already by Miggy in Detroit. Oakland leading New York. They're in the 6th inning, 3-2. Matt Chapman, by the way, Cal State Fullerton product, called up to the big leagues. One of the top prospects for the Oakland A's, third baseman. Getting the start tonight. Washington over New York, Milwaukee over St. Louis, and the Rockies currently leading the Giants.
Yeah, designated first time at Trevor Plouffe for Oakland.
Jose Alvarez got loose rather quickly, and it looks like that's going to be it for Ricky Nolasco. 6+ innings, 10 hits allowed, 4 runs. He will depart with a man standing at first base with Eric Hosmer due up. So she's going to go to the left-hander. A pitching change in the 7th with Kansas City up 4-2. 2017 Chrysler Pacifica, the new benchmark of minivans. Test drive one at your local Chrysler dealership today. By Mercury Insurance, we're on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast free quote and see how much you can save. And by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times anytime. Good times all the time.
Halos down 4-2, top of the 7th. Leadoff single by Lorenzo Cain chases Ricky Nolasco, 92 pitches for the Angels starter. Jose Alvarez takes over on the mound for him. Alvarez pitching in his 35th game. 0-3, I should say. 4.63 ERA. 18 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 23 in the 3rd innings. He's going to face Eric Hosmer.
Hosmer's rolled into 10 double plays this season. He's had a couple ground balls already and an infielder.
Drives this one out to left center field. Hit very well. Maben racing back, and that is off the wall. Ricochets back. Cain is going to be waved in, and he is going to score on the double by Eric Hosmer and make it 5-2.
He gets a pitch upstairs, and we talked about how well he can hit the ball the other way. Back to the wall, left center field. Scoring Lorenzo Cain, who had a good jump.
Kind of a bad route by Maben, isn't it?
The ball just kept drifting away from him, and he's been really pretty solid at center field. The baseball just kept going away from him.
Just based on where that ball hit, in relation to where he was, I think he could have gotten there, but he doesn't. 5-2.
Change up from Alvarez.
Book closed on Nolasco, 5 runs in 6 innings. Another extra base hit for Kansas City. This one's lifted down the line. Long run for Espinosa and Calhoun. And that falls in there. No communication. Throw comes home, and Salvador Perez takes second base.
It's one of those tough plays as all 3 fielders trying to get in at the same time, and as Calhoun's getting closer, Espinosa trying to make sure he avoids the collision potentially. He goes down and tries to catch that pop-up just by his glove as Calhoun was racing in himself. That's going to force the infield in.
To single for Perez, takes second on the throw home. Base hit will bring home at least a run. Perez might be waved home, and he is going to be waved in. It's a 2 RBI single, and it's 7-2 Kansas City. Jose Alvarez has allowed 3 straight hits. Still nobody out.
Now that's the 5th straight game for Kansas City, scoring 7 or more runs.
Stock is with 2 RBIs. Now has 42 on the season. And there's a strike.
Escobar rolls it foul. Shortstop 2 for 3 with a single and a double. He's also hit a fly ball to right. Down goes Alcides. One away.
Expand the strike zone. All 3 of the pitches in that sequence, not a strike. Ends up getting a punch out on a high fastball.
Moss, the DH, 0 for 3. Couple of fly ball out to the strikeout. One ball with strike. Alvarez has had his issues with both lefties and right-handers this year. Albeit one of these hits that he gave up for 3 consecutive should have been an out by somebody, whether Espinosa or Calhoun. A little flare out to center and another hit.
Alex Gordon already a big game today. Take a look at our top tier play brought to you by Arco. In the 4th inning for Alex Gordon, who had been struggling with the bat this season. English hit that ball very well to center field for a solo shot. It's just his 3rd home run, but it's got a double, a home run, and a single, a triple away from the cycle. Last world to hit for the cycle, George Brett back in 1990.
Takes a strike. Double for Gordon, his 9th. The home run is 3rd. RBI 13 on the year. There's a Daniel Wright getting ready. Top of the order. Merrifield on deck. Snap throw to second base. Getting back in there is Moustakis.
They were showing Mike Sweeney a little earlier with 21 home runs before the All-Star break. Mike Moustakis with 18. The Royals, we talked about their offense really getting it rolling right now. We saw them early in the season not swinging the bat real well. They were chasing pitches out of the strike zone, but they have been hot of late.
Fourteen hit attacks so far for Kansas City. There's Daniel, called up before the game today. Two balls, two strikes.
As Gordon's looking away up and in with the fastball.
Down goes Gordon. 2 outs. And that's going to be it for Alvarez. So the second pitching change of the inning coming up. Merrifield will be the 8th man to bat. Alvarez is done after 2/3 of an inning. 7-2 Kansas City. We're in the 7th. Oh, 1. 5 games, which included 2 starts. 5.19 ERA. Called back up from AAA. Trying to get that last out of the 7th inning. 3 runs in here so far. 7-2. 14 hit attack for Kansas City. And it'll be Whit Merrifield, the second baseman, coming up. Royals second baseman 2 for 4 with an RBI double and a single. They come to the play with Moustakas at second and Moss at first.
Not a bad pitch there from right, just a little bit below the strike zone. Sharp break to it. Fastball is going to be 89-93 range, very good. Curveball, solid changeup.
Backhanded by Simmons. Over to first, they got him. And we'll head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Angels down 7-2. sixth that was unearned. No, actually earned because they changed it. Maben reached to lead off the sixth, what was ruled an error, but they've changed that to a hit. So it becomes an earned run.
And another base hit for Cameron Maben.
Yeah. Crone, Maldonado, and Young here in the seventh for the Angels. CJ 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out. Crowder toward the hole. Nice play by Escobar. One down. Really nice, smooth. Throws the first down of the seventh.
Yeah, Escobar, real good range in shortstop position. Gets rid of it quickly too on the transfer, and a lot on that off-balance throw to get Crone at first base.
You know what, though? That's also a product of knowing who the base runner is. Because it was smooth and under control. He knows that he's got a little extra time. In a bang-bang situation, perhaps with a jump throw or a plant and a cross.
I think you have a chance even to plant and throw across on that one. Gold Glove winner in 2015. The only Kansas City shortstop ever to win a Gold Glove.
Maldonado so far 0 for 2. Fly ball to right, to strikeout.
Pretty good pitch to rip there for Maldonado. Felt that one straight back.
Ground ball to short. Sarah King Jr. coming up. 0 for 2 with a strikeout of Papa. These two teams back at it again tomorrow night. Santa Rally Monkeys giveaway. Ian Kennedy on the mound for Kansas City. Justin Chavez on the bump for the Angels.
A lot of energy from that game last night brought into batting practice today. An early 1-0 lead, but then Kansas City right away responded back with 2 runs in the second, and they've taken control since that point. Matt Shoemaker, who pitched last night, had to leave the game. Had some tightness in his forearm, but all indications today, everything's going to be okay.
Young goes down swinging. Halos down in order. We head to the 8th inning. 7-2 Kansas City.
8th inning here at the Big A. So far, all Royals. KC leading the Angels 7-2 on Patrick O'Neill. Hey, stick around after this one. Still time for the Halos to make a comeback. I'll be joined by Jose Mota and Alex Curry. We'll get some reaction. Clearly not Nolasco's night. We'll try to break that one down. But also Joe Adell. Now, that's an interview we're going to bring you. Alex had that. I know Victor and Mark, you talked to him. So impressed with the poise of this young man.
Oh, no doubt. And his energy, his smile. A lot of fun to be able to talk to him. He's got a chance. When you look at his numbers, he has that personality. Looks like he's going to be a star at the major league level.
Bonifacio the first out here in the 8th inning, 0 for 5. Lorenzo Cain coming to the plate. Lorenzo Cain, a 2 for 4 game with a home run and a single. 2 runs scored.
Lorenzo Cain generally very aggressive. We've seen that throughout this game tonight from the first pitch.
This one's out to left. Got it out to the end of the bat. 2 outs.
First baseman, number 35, Eric Hosmer.
Comes Eric Hosmer. 1 for 3. RBI double in the 7th. Jose Alvarez tonight, 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 runs, both earned. Hey, by the way, as far as injury update, Cam Bedrosian pitched for Inland Empire tonight. 25 pitches, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. He should be very close to joining the Angels bullpen.
We might see him this weekend, potentially. Tyler Skaggs will throw another bullpen tomorrow, more likely. Then we'll go to Arizona. His goal is to be ready to go in the rotation before the All-Star game.
Three balls, 1 strike. There's Tyler.
Saying he's feeling really good. No discomfort at all in the side.
The Angels will have to make a decision too on Doug Fister, whom they signed. He's got an out coming up on the 21st. Hosmer works a 2-out walk. Salvador Perez, the batter. Perez 2 for 4, double and a single. Hold 1.
Jesse Chavez will be on the mound tomorrow night. I had a long conversation with him the other day about what some of the adjustments he's going to make from that last start. You see those numbers in Houston. So he's going to go back to what he did a lot in spring training. Challenge hitters, especially with his fastball and cut fastball downstairs, down and away. Remember in Tempe, he had a lot of good success as far as keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's given up some home runs this season during the regular season, but down in Tempe, though, he used that cut fastball a little bit more so going down and away. Look for that pitch tomorrow night.
That is pulled foul.
Double for Salvador. Back in the 5th inning, his 12th of the season. Hosmer over at first with a 2-out walk. Halos with 9-1-2 coming up at the bottom of the 8th. Ball rolled foul.
You see a lot of hitters go down to that one knee, try to drive a baseball. Right here going down to that one knee on a breaking ball. So Anderson Simmons with a 2-run home run against the Yankees late last night on that same type of swing.
Lifted out to center. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th inning with the Angels trailing 7-2. I want to remind you that MLB.com at bat, your #1 mobile app for live Angels baseball. Stay connected with a fully customizable experience. Get Angels home screen icons and app features as well as game day, live game video highlights, radio broadcast, statcast, news, and more. Download it today. Joakim Soria pitching in his 29th game, 2-2 record, 3.81 ERA. He'll face 9-1-2.
The fastball's 89 to 93 range. We'll throw a curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Alexander with 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 run. One ball, 1 strike. David on deck, Calhoun to follow. Anything happens, then Pujols. Offered at that pitch, 1-2. That pitch was way inside.
He's trying to push one of that breaking ball, and he just tried to drag it down the first baseline.
Two and two. Bouncer back toward the middle. Escobar to his left, and he can't get it. Oh, took a weird hop and kind of skipped through.
It looked like he was going to try to get to that baseball.
I thought he had a chance at it once off the bat.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Leadoff hit for Espinosa. As soon as I hit that hit that grass and dirt area by the bag and trickled into the outfield to by Escobar short.
Cameron 1 for 3 with that single in the 6th inning. Also scored a run. Chopper to the right side. Hosmer's got it. He'll go to second. Get the lead runner. One down. Makes it look easy, doesn't he?
He's so smooth and under control. That's the reason why he's won multiple Gold Gloves at first base for Kansas City. He's got good range. Very good throwing arm, accurate throwing arm to that base at second. Quite a few 3-6-3 double plays turned by Hosmer throughout his career. He had 3 straight Gold Gloves from 2013 through 15. He only rolled first baseman to win a Gold Glove.
Cole 2 for 3 with a couple of singles.
Check out the game on the phone at the game.
Two balls, no strikes.
Cole 0 for 5 in his career versus Soria. Good count though to do some damage.
The old cambio. That's especially with Soria was the closer. Bread and butter.
Between that and his fastball, a little cut action on his fastball.
Two and two. Oh, quick pitch action.
The Royals will pick that up, and Johnny Cueto is a member of the pitching staff for the Royals.
Very good Rule 5 selection by Kansas City back in December of 2006 from the San Diego Padres. Two-time All-Star. Check it on camera. Said 17 games that first season and followed with 42, 30, 43, and 28. 4 arm injuries set him back and came back with Texas. Bouncer is foul. 161 saves as a member of the Kansas City Royals. 203 in his career.
Jeff Montgomery at the top of that list.
Rafael Soriano. That went away quickly. That was here and gone. 45 saves from that year. That shelf life for a closer is not very long.
No.
There's the few that can make it last a while. Fouled off.
Mariano Rivera, dominant.
Yeah.
Trevor Hoffman.
Rob Nett had a very good run.
Yes.
Troy Percival had a very good run.
Yep. Over 300 saves for Percy.
Joe Nathan, who was still bouncing around as late as this year, if I remember correctly.
In spring training.
Just recently, if I'm not mistaken, got released.
Yes. Then you have the others who were dominant for a short period of time, like a Bobby Thigpen, who had the major league record for a while until Frankie Rodriguez broke the record for saves in a season.
Neftali Feliz. You talk about a terrific arm. I think he just got released as well. Just last day or so. Two balls, two strikes, one out, one on. 7-2 Kansas City. Cole hits it to the right side. Merrifield with a diving stop. Nice play. The Royals second base with two down. Maven ends up at second.
Cole looking for his third hit of the game. Merrifield in a nice play, good range on this. Once it got by Hosmer, thought for sure that was going to be a base hit into the outfield, but good range, gets up quickly. The knees and perfect throw over to Hosmer to get Cole at first.
Albert 1 for 3. Single back in the first.
th all-time in the RBI list. 1,863 career RBIs for Albert Pujols. He lives in Kansas City during the offseason. High school in Independence, Missouri.
Is that not the home of Harry S. Truman? Independence, Missouri.
Missouri. Yes, indeed.
Went around. 2 balls, 2 strikes. (7-2) Kansas City. Royals have scored 7 or more runs in 5 straight games for the first time since 1979. Ground ball toward the hole. Escobar retires Pujols. We will head to the 9th with the Angels down 7-2. on FS1 and Fox. The Rays take on the Tigers at 1 on FS1. Then on Fox, it's game 3 of this series. Royals taking on the Angels at 5 on your local station, or you can watch it live on FS Go. Daniel Wright back out. Another inning of relief. 7-2 Kansas City. Moustakas to lead things off. Little dribbler, that is foul. Never know in this ballpark down the lines if that ball's going to come back fair. Moustakas a 1-for-3 game. 2 RBI single off Jose Alvarez in the 7th. Little flare out to shallow center field, and Simmons not going to get there. So Moustakas with a base hit. 15th hit tonight for Kansas City.
And Moustakas that base hit, mentioned it, 18 home runs before the break. Mike Sweeney was the last to have that many at the All-Star break. There he is right there, Mike Sweeney. Jim Caviezel, the actor, right next to him. Person of interest. When the game stood tall. Great movie. High school football, De La Salle football program had that winning streak.
He's going all Corey Hart on us, wearing his sunglasses at night. Alcides Escobar, the shortstop, 2 for 4, single, double, fly to right, strikeout. Popped up. Escobar. About to retire Escobar. One away. Of no relation.
Designated hitter, number 37,
Brandon Moss. The DH, 1 for 4. Royals have Travis Wood getting ready in the bullpen. Halos will have Escobar, Simmons, and Crone coming up in the 9th. Ricky Nolasco tonight, the starter, 6 innings plus a batter into the 7th. 10 hits, 2 of which were home runs, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 5 runs, all earned. Alvarez charged with 2 runs in his 2/3 of an inning. Toward one. Out to right. To away.
Now it's time for the Land Rover Above and Beyond Player of the Game. Alex Gordon coming in the game just a 185 batting average, but a very good game here tonight. Just a triple away. And hitting from the cycle, he's got a double, solo home run, and a single. Scored a couple of runs.
Big game for Alex Gordon, especially with the struggles he's had this season.
Let me look at the power numbers for Alex Gordon. This is his 3rd home run. The season was tonight, back in the 4th inning.
I'm surprised, just surprised to see the average where it's at for him, especially batting in the number 9 spot. Missed it. Reaching for this one, Maybin coming in, and we'll put it away, and we'll head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Halos have Escobar to lead things off, down 5. The score of 7-2. New pitcher on for the Royals, Travis Wood, takes over. Janelle Escobar is set to lead things off. He'll be followed by Andrelton Simmons and then C.J. Cron. Travis pitching in his 22nd game, 1-2 mark, a 7.61 ERA for the one-time Cub. Good numbers last year for them, 77 games.
Never think about having him in the rotation here for a while. Fastball 87 to 94 range with a cut fastball, curveball, slider, changeup.
Escobar 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Gonna flare out to right center. Lorenzo Cain playing shallow. Hauls it in for the first down.
Number 2, Edmonton City.
Edgerton lofts one out the left. Gordon there. 2 down.
A lot of fly ball outs in this game for the Angels.
But they couldn't solve Matt Strahm, the pitcher, who was the pitcher of record for Kansas City. 5 innings tonight. And he was very good in his first big league start. They're stretching him out to be a starter.
Yeah, we mentioned his numbers against his 4-seam fastball. Just coming into the game, just a 177 batting average against his 4-seamer. It was very effective, but also his changeup. Even his breaking ball got more consistent as the game progressed.
No balls, 2 strikes. Jesse Chavez on the mound tomorrow night for the Angels. Game 2 of a 4-game series. Ian Kennedy on the bump for Kansas City. Looks one out towards center. Lorenzo Cain drifting over. The Royals will take game 1 by the final of 7-2.
Yeah, I think right away the tone was set. Alex Gordon with a very big game for Kansas City. Strahm threw the ball very well in his first career major league start. Moustakas Hosmer, solid games himself. They continue to swing the bat well. Again, 5 straight games of 7 or more runs for Kansas City. Their offense coming to life.
Ricky Nolasco suffers the loss. Matt Strahm picks up the victory. No save tonight as Kansas City strikes first. They are 4-0 against the Angels this season. Stick around. Angel Live postgame is coming up next.